On today's show, we're talking about how to get your sex life on the right track, even if that means you got to put getting busy on the calendar. Yes, I'm talking about scheduling sex. Also, answering your emails on the other type of oral pleasure, sexual tension between best friends, partner shaming, and more. Thanks for listening. But first, okay, guys, I know that it seems like the world of sex toys can be pretty limited for you, but I want to introduce you to a product that might just open your mind to some new and amazing experiences. The Black Pearl from Vibratex. The Black Pearl is a vibrating prostate massager, and it's designed to let men and couples discover a completely new level of satisfaction. I know for a lot of you, anal play is not even on your sexual radar, but trust me, there are many more guys who've made prostate massage part of their playtime. And a lot of them will never look back. Not only does prostate stimulation add a whole new range of sensations during masturbation or intercourse, it can also give you stronger and more intense orgasms and helps you stay harder longer. That's part of what makes the Black Pearl for couples work so well. You get the benefit of amazing orgasms, and your partner benefits from a harder erection. How good is that? Not to mention the excitement of adding a new toy to your routine. The Black Pearl has a slender shape, it's USB rechargeable, and it's made of 100% body-safe silicone. So if you're ready to explore new territory, it's time. Give the Black Pearl a try. I even made a video about it. To see it, go to Vibratex.com and search for Black Pearl. You'll find my video and all the information you need. Also, check out my latest blog, Diving into Prostate Pleasure, to find out how the Black Pearl can make a pretty sexy toy for two. Thanks for listening.
Into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. You can check out all of our podcasts. You should really subscribe to our podcasts because we do 2 a week. And then they just show up in your inbox. How cool is that in iTunes? So fun. Love that. And I'm here with Anderson.
What up?
What up, dude? How you doing?
My level's good. Oh, my level's good.
I think so.
Let me see. Am I loud enough? Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I'm good.
You're
I'm good.
loud.
Sorry for the behind-the-scenes look at the show and
BTS?
how it all works.
People like BTS.
BTS, is that what we have a word
Hashtag?
for? Coming
Behind
out
the
of your mouth, I picture people being spanked with the BTS.
You know what's so weird, though?
BDSM.
Well, I always hear stuff like my friend said something the other day. I was at a party, and she's like, yeah, it has little, what'd she say? Little, what would be the word?
Nipples?
No, she said something that was completely oh, and it has little critters on it. And I thought she said clit. I'm like, it's the clit? I always think people are saying something sexual,
right,
and they are not.
Because your mind is always in the
my
gutter.
mind
it has to be.
Is in the gutter.
For your
which is
job.
why I also didn't recognize what kind of car you had, which was disturbing.
Emily's been on this kick all night. I can't believe that I don't know what kind of car you have.
Right.
And she's like, I think I do, though. I think it's white. Right? My car's black.
Well, I showed up tonight at the studio, and I was like, I wonder if Anderson's here yet. And I'm like, I don't know what kind of car he has.
Yeah.
And we've spent a lot of time talking at your car, hanging out outside.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. It's a black car.
You got your bubble. You're kind of stuck
I'm in
your
a bubble, but when I
that's what
see you,
makes
I'm so excited to see you.
Focused. That makes you a focused person.
Dude, if I'd noticed everything around me, I would never get anything done.
I noticed everything around me, and
you still get nothing done?
I guess you're right. I'm way behind on everything.
I know. See, that's the problem. So I was like, Anderson's here. I'm so excited. Don't know what kind of car he drives.
Yeah, so you didn't know I was here, and here I am.
Here you are. I love that you're here. And also, I would love to see you all March 10th, which is 2 days from now, Thursday, at the Hollywood Improv. I'm doing a great show. I did a podcast with the great Love Debates, Brian Howie, and people loved it. So we decided, you know what? Let's do a podcast together. And he does them all over the country. He does these shows where they're like the Great Love Debate, and they talk about being single and why dating is hard and finding love can be challenging. So there's a lot of things standing in the way. Men and women, from getting what they want in the dating world. And I guess these events become raucous. The men are upset about things, and the women feel like they want the men to try harder, and the men want the women to chill out. So we're going to have an audience, and we're going to have the women start talking about sex, because we go around and ask people questions in the audience. The women are going to have to talk about the sex, and the men about relationships. And we'd love to see you there. You get the tickets at hollywoodimprov.com, I think. Something like that.
They'll have it on the calendar.
Yeah, the calendar.
What do the tickets cost?
I think they're $20. It's March 10th, 7:30. So it's called Love and Sex Live, and I want to see you there because it's going to be fun and it's going to be a great night. We always have fun at the Hollywood Improv.
There's always walk-ups, too. I wonder what kind of walk-ups you're going to get for a show like that.
Yeah,
People are just,
you're
like,
right. They're like,
wandering
oh,
by.
I'm in L.A.,
Yeah.
the Improv.
Hey, look at
And
that.
it's going to be great. But it's not going to be
Live
like...
sex.
No, I
Let's
know. It's
do
called
it.
live sex and what I call it?
Yeah.
Live. Yeah, I know.
No,
but
you,
there won't
you
be
can
live
guarantee
sex.
you'll sell out.
Oh, good point.
If it said free
Maybe that was a
blowjob.
smart name for it.
On the
It's like Love and Sex Live.
Yeah.
I will not be having sex live. I don't think.
No.
Maybe I meet someone.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, people meet other people and
Yeah,
they date.
but I doubt you do it live there on the
You know
stage.
what? I've never had live sex in front of people. So
No.
at this
Why would
point,
you
10
start?
years in, not going to do it. Right. So
missed
there's
that boat.
that. I did miss that boat, but I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy with my choices.
You've seen people have sex live.
I have seen people have
Yeah.
sex live, swinger parties and stuff like that. You know,
You ever go to those creepy, they're like the theaters where they got like the porn on, and then there's like a back row where there's a chick getting like a train run on her. You ever been to one of those?
Nope, have not. Maybe in San Francisco they used to have those like the old theaters.
You're
I
asking
feel
me?
like,
You grew up
No,
there.
I
You spent a
feel
lot
like
of time there.
I feel like I did maybe once go to one of those like this creepy old porn
That's
theaters.
the kind of life she lives. She thinks that maybe she was in a creepy
I think in
old
my
theater
20s a while
where a
ago.
woman was getting a train run on her in the back, and she thinks maybe she saw that.
Dude, I've been through a lot, okay?
I know,
I've
that's what I'm
weathered a lot of
saying, man.
storms, a lot of sex. I don't know if I was there.
I think I've been to that jail. I can't remember.
Exactly. Never been to jail yet. Proud to say.
Good for you.
So I've got some sex in the news for you.
Let's do it.
There is some disparity between the sexes in regard to oral sex. Go figure. A newly published study in the Canadian Journal of Human Sexuality finds that women are more than twice as likely to go down on their partners than men are, even though men report enjoying the act of giving oral sex more. The study surveyed undergrads and got stats on their sexual orientation, and they found that 26% of women had performed oral on their partners, while only 10% of the men have.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
only
both
10%
those
of
are
the college dudes.
Super low numbers.
I
right?
know, but I feel like it's college dudes. They're just, I feel like that men at a young age just, it goes both ways. I think they don't really know what they're doing, or they're not interested in it, or they're probably interested, but they don't know how. And I think a lot of women at that age might be more, they've never had it either, so they might be a little more insecure about their bodies, not sure that the guy wants to do it. So, yeah, I mean,
think you guys just like to please, too.
we're pleasers.
in
Women just
your-
give out blowjobs like
Yeah.
they're giving out candy. They're
And I
like,
think a
oh, well,
lot of-
I don't want him to touch me, but I'm going to blow him.
douchey dudes, like especially if you finish the guy off, he's like, all right, what's on ESPN?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that women
move
should
on.
protest and not give blowjobs till he goes down on you. And then we would have a change
All right,
of events
but
here.
speaking as the man in the room here, Em, I can tell you from experience that once the act is finished, whether it be oral or an actual like traditional sex or even self-stimulation, the last thing you want to do is any kind of work, and that's work.
That's why he should start going down on her
you
first.
can barely get up off the couch to throw away the napkin. It's a lot of work.
Three
you don't
words.
want to do anything.
3 words.
Yeah,
She comes first.
right. It's a good rule to live by.
It is a good road to live by. So that doesn't surprise me. Women are pleasers, and it just makes me sad that a lot of women are just like, well, I gave him a blowjob, so hopefully he'll call. I didn't want him to touch me, but
Come on,
no,
ladies,
that
come
is-
on.
Please,
You're
quid
better
pro
than
quo. Right, you are better than that, and that's what I want.
Let's not
for.
make this a whole movement, though. I mean, settle down.
I kind of
right?
want to make a movement. Like I kind of want to go around to college campuses and teach my oral sex course because it was really powerful. I feel like people learn a lot. There's a lot of confusion. We did a show about it last week that we really got into the oral. Remember, guys are like, they don't know what to do a lot of times, and every woman's different. You were very helpful on
I
that
was.
show.
Was I helpful? Good.
Yeah, you're always helpful.
Mark that because that's probably one of the few times that you can say that.
No, you're super helpful.
Aw,
You plugged in the
sweet, thank
microphone. You plugged in the headphones tonight. You brought Stanley here.
I plugged in the
You
headphones.
did. I got that. Oh, we have to take a picture after me and Stanley.
No.
For the show.
I don't
yes,
do
we
pictures.
do.
Sorry.
Dude, that's
That'll
so
cost you
lame.
extra.
I'll pay you. I'll pay you good.
Let's do it.
Pay you good times. Okay, so I've got a little, we're going to get emails, but I got a little mini topic here.
Oh.
And that is about scheduled sex.
Ooh, you're against.
Nope, I'm not. Here's
You have
funny.
been. You've changed your tune.
I have. So I think we actually need to schedule sex more often. And when I started my show, I remember someone being on the show early on saying, well, couples just need to schedule it. I'm thinking that is the most boring, deal-breaking,
It
like...
makes it seem like work.
yeah,
a
like,
chore.
oh, God, 7 o'clock tonight, sex. It's like, you might as well throw in the towel.
Right.
But the truth about scheduled sex is that, like I thought it was passionless, but because the problem is we think it should be spontaneous, romantic, and we don't want it to be something that we plan. But the thing is, if your sex life is challenged or dwindling, maybe your schedules don't match up,
Right.
maybe you have kids, there's a lot of things that get in the way of having sex and having your needs met, it could, you might want to jumpstart into a fully satisfying, planned sex routine. So it helps your partner remain accountable. You both know that it's going to happen. And the best thing I heard about it was someone saying to me once, you know what, Emily, my wife and I don't have time, and I'm always trying to have sex with her, and she's always saying no, and I feel rejected all the time. And now that I know, every Saturday night we have sex, or every Tuesday, and that's the thing. And so if really couples struggle with this all the time, and we can even make it sexy. So here's 6 ways to make hot scheduled sex with your lover. Well,
That's
5.
Yeah.
4. Let's see how far I get. I
Let's
might
do
feel
it.
I get bored. Okay. So make a rational schedule.
Right.
Okay. So you want to sit down with your partner, calm moment outside the bedroom, like most of these sex conversations should have, and discuss how much sex you'd both like to be having. Because it has to be agreeable. I mean, if you want sex 4 times, and let's say your partner wants sex twice,
Right.
3 times a week.
What if you're shy and you don't like to talk to your partner about this? Would you say
That's why
maybe you
you're probably-
present the question and then you write it down like they do in movies where they make
No.
offers? They make offers to each
No.
other? I here's what I say to your offer, and they just write a big F you and they pass it back. Why not?
Absolutely
That'd be
not.
kind of,
Or you know what you could
fold
do?
up a paper, you
listen
pass
to
it
the
across.
show. Listen to this show with your partner. I get emails all the time from couples who say your show helped my sex life. We listen together. So if you're someone who's like, this is like, God, that sounds cool, have her listen to that, or have him listen to this episode with you. But anyway, you can set goals. You can add it to your calendar. So you're like, okay, 3 times a week, and this is when we're going to do it. And you plan your week around it. It's non-negotiable. You cannot say, well, I'd rather watch SportsCenter and we're not going to have sex. The thing is, you don't have to get so fancy about it either. It doesn't have to be like, we're going to, like, tonight, we're going to do the Kama Sutra pose number 82.
That's too much pressure.
Right. It makes it really complicated. And so just focus on having the set sex once you start, because then once you start enjoying it, you can up the ante and you can, make goals by trying out specific things. But, for now, just say this is when we're having sex, because the more sex begets sex.
What? You just said a bunch of sex.
Sex begets sex. The more sex you have, the more sex you're going to want.
Right. It's like the gym. The more you go to the gym,
Exactly.
the more
Everything's like the
apt you
gym.
are to
I need a
go to
better
the gym.
analogy than gym, but it is like the gym. So
It's like reading a book. I mean, the more
That's
you
true.
chip away, and if you start reading, like you'll get to the point where it's like, oh my God, I haven't read a book all week.
Right.
But in my case, I haven't been
It's like
chipping.
habits.
I haven't read a book in a year.
Right.
Maybe
I have
maybe
barely read
longer.
a book. I'd be like, just don't even. I just
You
want
don't
to go
have
desert island
time.
and read.
You don't have time.
No,
man.
but everybody's got time for
it's
what's
hard
important.
to focus on the words when you're vibrating from the toy you're testing.
Well, sometimes I vibrate and I read.
That'd be tough. I would think all the letters would
You
be
knock one
jumbled.
out, then I'm relaxed and I read. Okay, you can also use technology to your advantage. So let's say you have the reminder in your Google Calendar. Maybe you guys share it. You can send a flirty text. It's a little digital foreplay. It helps prime you for the night ahead. So like tonight, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you naked and go down on you. Something like that. Send a little, A little, I love when Anderson goes,
You could maybe even schedule those ahead of time so you have them fire off.
Exactly. Like Hootsuite for tweets. You can
Right.
like schedule your text at a time. Because a lot of times, another thing to do is go back through your digital communication. Like, do you ever do this? Like, go back and read like emails that you sent when you were first together, or like
No.
text messages.
No.
So
I'm not a chick.
look at the pictures. I do.
I
Look
know.
at your pictures. Like, think about the rush and that thrill you had, like the first few months you were together, and something sexy sparks up, and you're like, oh, that was a night that we were naked having
Yeah, you know
sex
what?
in the moonlight.
You're right. It's like going back and looking pictures of your puppy. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, he was so cute, and I take him for
right.
granted now. Yeah, you go back to the. Yeah, that's a
true,
good point there.
right? Thank you, Anderson. Also, you got to reserve the time for intimacy with your partner. So this is more for the guys. So I'm talking about masturbation here. So, you remember that famous line from Something About Mary?
Right, of course.
The creepy
Gotta
friend
flog
suggests
the
clearing the
dolphin.
pipes
Yeah.
before a big date. Well, that's all great in your early dating years, I think, for guys. But really, when you get older, you want to save it. You might want to save the masturbation for the hot sex you're having with your partner, because you might be like not as motivated. So it kind of can like store up that energy, that sexual energy, and wait. So we only have a finite amount of sexual energy, stored up.
So, yeah, you can
share with the
schedule it
person you
around.
love. Yeah, totally. And for the women, I say if you're kind of someone who struggles with desire, or, you're not always in the mood for sex, I think that women should continue to masturbate, because, again, this is like the gym analogy.
Oh,
The more you
convenient.
masturbate and the more you think about sex and the more you have sex in the forefront, the more you're going to want to have. So I would masturbate. I'd start, looking at porn or reading erotica or seeing what turns you on. So you make it like an experiment that you start to figure out what you really, really like.
You guys are like old Model Ts. Like you need to be cranked
We
up.
do.
for a
We
long
do.
time
It's true.
before
Even
you-
I do. Like, honestly, like I love sex, but when I don't have it for a while, like I'm not thinking about it. Like, or I have a lot of friends like, I'm so horny, I want sex all the time. People say horny. And I was like, yeah, you forget. But when I get all these new toys, I start masturbating again. I'm like psyched. I get home. It's like anything in life, right? Like the book. Final thing is tired, not an excuse. I'm sorry. We are all goddamn tired.
What about headaches?
No.
Not tonight,
Take
Helen.
an
I got a
Advil.
headache.
No. Remember, this is for you just as much as your partner. Sex is the glue in a relationship. And I'm just offering a suggestion here. I'm offering something to do so you guys, if your sex life's been dwindling or you're challenged, schedule it. So even if you're sleepy, that orgasm is going to feel so much better and put you to sleep.
Can I give a do not do?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
You know when you go to like a public restroom, like at a fast food joint or CVS or something, they got the little clipboard hanging on the outside of the restroom with like little check marks of like when that was last cleaned. Don't have something like that outside your bedroom for the scheduling sex.
Don't. And do you remember that's such a bad move? And you remind me of the story.
Poorly.
Do you remember that guy who sent the Excel spreadsheet around?
No.
It was a few years ago. So there was a guy in New York, and he, instead of ever talking to his wife, he had an Excel spreadsheet. He must have been an accountant or something because he was very fastidious.
Right.
And for like it was like for a month or two. Every time he asked his wife, approached her for sex,
Right.
she rejected him. Maybe once she didn't, but he tracked it in her excuse.
Yeah.
And her excuse, like 2 years ago, was like, "No, I'm watching Friends.
Right.
Oh, I'm tired. I just got back from the gym. I feel gross. I'm watching Friends again." I'm like, she needs better TV. Friends has been off the air for a while.
Friends is terrible.
And then he emailed it to her one morning and said, "This is what you've been doing to our love life." And then she released it. Google it, Excel spreadsheet. It's
She
actually
shouldn't have released it. She should be a little bit embarrassed. I got a story.
Go.
Real quick. My best friend. You've never met him, but he's a little off.
Wanna
I think
meet
he
your
might be
best friend.
He might be on the spectrum. He's the best man at my wedding. He's a little bit odd.
Of course.
He and his wife, similar situation. Before they got married, she was going through his briefcase. He's a lawyer, and she found like an Excel spreadsheet and a pie chart, all like computer, like done like professionally, like with the color schemes and everything. Where he made a pie chart of like how much money he spends, and she was like the biggest wedge in the pie chart, and like all these relationship stats because he's an oddball, this guy, and it almost cost him what is now his wife and family because she almost said, "I can't be a pie chart to this guy.
I cannot be your pie chart.
I'm
right.
not a wedge in your goddamn pie chart."
Right, exactly. Oh my God.
He learned his lesson.
I'm glad they worked it out though.
Yeah.
And you got to keep those pie charts to yourself.
Pie
Don't print it
chart.
out. Lock your computer. A pie chart. Wow.
They get remarried on their anniversary every single year.
That's really
They actually
sweet.
get a priest or a rabbi, or like they do different things. They get judges sometimes, and they actually have a ceremony in the whole.
He's redeemed himself.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea that you renew your business
They
contract.
had me do it one year. I actually had to go get ordained. I had to do that whole thing where I could actually officially oversee their bullshit
And are
wedding.
they happy? They must be happy though.
Yeah, they're very happy. I brought up the pie chart in my vows.
That's really
had them
funny.
repeat.
See, that's a good kind of mishap that happens because then you laugh about it.
Yeah.
I actually like your best friend.
He's the best.
Okay, this is about salad tossing.
What? No, come
I
on,
know.
Em.
I'm
You're
sorry.
better than that.
I know.
What is this, a prison rape show now?
Here's the thing. I am not going to get too. I'm just going to say this guy emailed us. Very nice guy. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. He listens on the iTunes podcast app. He said, "I discovered this podcast recently. I've been binge listening every day. I've been in a funk for the last 3 years and recently been dating someone with I have some success. Would you mind shedding some light on etiquette in regards to eating ass? I had my first experience with this recently and was surprisingly turned on. Just want to know if there are any basic rules and how they should be introduced and explored in the bedroom so that other parties not freaked out or turned off. Definitely subscribe in your podcast, and it's a wonderful thing what you do. Exactly the sort of motivation I've been needing. Sincerely, WD."
WD.
Yeah, that's his name.
Wait a
But
minute.
he wants to, what?
WD.
We already checked. It's a man who was talking about a woman.
Is it Drew?
No.
Eating someone's ass.
Oh, stop.
It's not Dr. Drew. Are you sure?
Dude, how'd you get that?
Eating someone's ass.
Drew really said that?
Oh, he said way worse. I have him saying some way. All right, I'm sorry. Back to the
That's
ass
amazing.
eating. Sorry to interrupt.
So, okay, here's how you got to bring it up, WD. You could always test the waters next time you're going to go down on her, but you run the risk of her not completely being clean, which can seriously kill the mood. So why not just the next time you're talking about sex, you can talk about backdoor play. Is she interested? Does she get turned on by anything anal? And you could start just like how I tell everybody, like, start by like using your fingers around there and see if she's open to just your fingers, just kind of touching, rubbing around her anus and see if she pulls her fingers away, then you know that might not be your thing. And then you could talk about it then afterwards. Be like, so, is that not your thing? Or she might say, well, I don't know. I've never done it. And this could start the conversation. You could also suggest a fantasy. God, I'd really like to eat your ass. You could say that, see what she says. You could also just say, what are your thoughts on backdoor play? So you can lead to the conversation organically. And then if she's into it, I'd say take a shower together. If you don't have time to take a shower together, she should know that she should, make sure she's clean, wipe down, all that stuff. So the tips for doing it, foreplay. Just like with cunnilingus, you want to make sure she's warmed up and you don't want to go straight for the main event. You want to tease her. You want to build up to it. Helps to pleasure her first. She comes first. You give an orgasm first, or vagina, a vaginal orgasm, clitoral orgasm, whatever. But once you start going for the back door, you can't go back to the vagina because that's how bacteria gets transmitted. So when she's lying on her stomach, you can give her like a butt massage with your hands, massaging her cheeks. Then you like pull her cheeks apart. You can still use your fingers and pleasure her vagina if you've not touched her back door yet. Then you can just start using your tongue all over. Lick the outside, swirl your tongue, play around with different pressures, tongue movements, motions, kind of like oral sex. You can use your lips, your tongue, all that stuff. You can even kiss and suck the anus.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I just had to get through it. When in doubt, I'm just saying I know you wouldn't want this, but we're helping WD. And when in doubt, ask how things are feeling, what she likes and what she doesn't like. So go slow.
Can you just pay attention to how she's reacting? Enough with the asking, right?
Well, I think pay attention.
Yeah.
And if she's into it, you'll know. And if she's not into it, you won't. But start with your finger.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. That wasn't too bad, was
Pinky, maybe? Pinky.
But first, before we get into Anderson's ass eating experiences, the womanizer. My latest obsession, if you've been listening to the show the last couple months, you've heard me talk about a unique product called the womanizer. And what happened was the owners of the company said, hey, can I send you, I get these emails all the time, can we send you one to test? This is a really different kind of toy, which of course I agreed to. I never say no. And I tried it, and I own and review a lot of toys. And I was like, okay, yeah, show me something I don't know. But I was wrong. I had never tried a toy like this. It was designed in Germany, and unlike anything else on the market, it indirectly stimulates the clitoris using suction. So the way it looks like a sexy ear thermometer. Has a silicone cylinder on the face that you place over your clitoris, kind of like how your partner might use her mouth. And while it's on, you vary the suction and you move it around, and it creates this intense experience. And most women in their focus group achieve orgasm in 1 minute. 60-second orgasm, not bad. So I tried it, and they weren't kidding. The suction was amazing. It's adjustable. You can feel a lot of different sensations. And it really is in its own category. It has this like special like Airstream. It's not Airstream. It's like this. It is like Airstream. This like technology where the I think it's air. I think they call it like this. I can't remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking about too. Hey guys, I should say that we're doing this show late night too, so maybe our brains are not firing.
I know, but it's like pleasure stream. Pleasure stream
is what you're looking for.
It's like this really. I
thought you were looking for aerodynamic.
No. It's the coolest sensation. I feel like it's like the clit whisperer. Like I feel like it's what I would want someone to do my clit if they didn't know my clit. And the womanizer knows. So go to sexwithemily.com, click on the womanizer banner for more information, and just buy one because you'll like it. I promise.
You name yours?
No, I have so many. I should name them.
What did you end up naming the Sibian? Frank?
No, I can't remember right now.
You can't remember?
Johnny Boy or something?
Johnny Boy.
I should remember this.
Sorry, I brought it back.
No, it's okay.
Wasn't Stanley in the running there for a minute?
Yes,
that would have been very upsetting.
I can't name him. Stanley's on my lap right now.
Yes, he is.
Okay, hey, Emily. I'm in an odd situation. My best friend has a boyfriend, and they've been dating for 10 months. Her and I want the same thing sexually, but yet she has stayed with him. All we talk about is sex, though. I want to screw her, but I don't want to mess the relationship she has with him. What should I do to compress the desire? Maybe means repress the desire to screw her brains out. Thanks, Dylan, listening from the podcast app on the iPhone.
That's not right. Suppress. It's not right.
He said compress.
Oh, compress.
I think he means
not
suppress.
Right. Suppress.
So Dylan,
this is a dude with a girlfriend.
So he's got a best girlfriend
Yes.
who's with a guy.
Right.
And she keeps talking to Dylan, saying, yeah, my boyfriend won't do this and that. And they talk about sex all the time. So Dylan's thinking, I want to screw her, but I don't really want to mess up our relationship.
Or her relationship with the dude.
Yeah, exactly. But you kind of do. I mean, you will screw it up if you want to screw her. So neither of you are in the right on this one because this is typical. You want what you can't have.
Neither are what?
They're not in the right. Neither one of them.
Neither one, yeah.
She's violating the trust. She's got a boyfriend and she's complaining that she's not getting what
Which
she wants.
she would do with a girl, but she probably shouldn't be doing with a heterosexual dude who wants to bang her.
And girls know that you want to bang her. Like she knows.
She knows.
You didn't say how old you are. I'm assuming you're in your early 20s. So this is typical. You lust. I mean, have you ever done this, gone after a girl who wasn't available? Like, is that, like, I know guys who have patterns of only dating women who aren't available.
I've done so many horrible things, and that's one of the few things that never really came across. Yeah.
It's good to make sure your other things not.
I've always had this weird thing. Like as soon as I heard a girl was married,
me too.
She wasn't attractive,
right?
Anymore.
Same.
Like
if
she
a
was
guy
like
has a
old
girlfriend,
and kind of like used or
right.
something.
I felt the same way. If a guy had a girlfriend, I was like next.
Yeah.
But there's some guys where I believe it's the other way of not committing or like having not like it's a challenge,
right?
And they're like, I'm going to get her, and then once they get her, they're like, it was like a challenge to get her, and then they want what they can't have. That
That's
whole
just
thing.
insecurity, but that's not the case with this dude. This dude, I think he just straight up wants to bang this girl.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe I don't know. I think he might want what he can't have. Why can't it be both?
Because, I mean, it seems like she's talking about the sexual things that she would like to be doing with this guy. And he's like, yeah, I could do that. I'm into that.
Right. Well, his mind's going there. So the thrill of her being in a relationship, it adds a taste of taboo to it, the fact that she's talking to you about it. And you and your friend, I think, have taken it too far because you're not acting like best friends here because a real best friend wouldn't jeopardize a friend's relationship or keep a male friend on the hook when they are currently dating someone else. And it doesn't sound like she's leaving her boyfriend. And it's possible it's like a flirty game she's playing, but she's not going to follow through. Or if she does, that's not so great either because she's cheating on her boyfriend. Right. So I think this is going to get messy and someone could really get hurt. So I think you got to take a step back here if you want to do the right thing and not make your relationship about sex. I'm sure there's many other things to talk about.
Move on, too. Don't be friends with this chick anymore. We
and
need more
maybe just
details,
distance yourself for a while.
I think we need more detail. We need to know, like, if he was friends with her before she hooked up with this new
guy.
And,
email us still, and I can
has
keep
he
up,
wanted to bang her for the beginning? Has he made a pass and she said, let's just be friends? Is he stuck in friend zone? You know, there's some info missing.
There always is. So I guess we're taking callers and having people. I was going to put a voicemail thing up on my website, on my new website, which hasn't launched yet because it's taking a while, but keep going back.
You'll get a ton of calls, and a lot of them will sound like this.
No, but yeah, we won't use those. But I want people to be able to call up and leave a voicemail message or call in the station.
No. I'm not dealing with callers.
Okay. So leave me a voicemail, but soon we're going to have it up on the website.
Yeah, you don't have a number yet?
No.
Okay.
It's on the list, though.
I can get you hooked up with that. Yeah, well,
How?
I mean, we do it on the After Disaster. We have a phone number.
And do you play the calls?
Sometimes, like on special occasions.
Is it easy to do?
Yeah.
On the After Disaster, Anderson's wonderful podcast.
You said I should mention it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like your most popular. Anderson's got this.
I do 3 podcasts and I do 3 shows, and I try not to shove them down everyone's throat. I do 3.
But you're talking to
4,
podcasters right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
don't not listen to mine. No, but Anderson's podcast After Disaster has a huge following. People love it.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
And it's I went to your live show. I was blown away by all your fans and like rabid fans.
Yeah, After Disaster is it's a very unique, a quick little 30-second aside. I'll get my stuff out of the way, okay, and then we can go back to the sex. Yeah. All right, After Disaster.
And then we're
if you're
gonna
looking
go to ass eating again.
No, more salad tossing. I don't even like the name.
I hate that word. I didn't mean to say
it.
It
comes from prison because
I know.
they
I
used
didn't
to
mean
use
to,
ranch
guys.
dressing.
That's what was on here. It's Madison's fault.
That's the story.
Blame producer Madison.
That's the story, though. Like they would use ranch dressing to mask the taste.
I remember. I don't know why I said that.
Can you imagine eating
so
prison
not professional
ass?
of me either. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, so the After Disaster, we talk about such things as I don't think salad tossing's ever been mentioned, but it could come up. It's very sophomoric at times, but it's with myself, Mike Carano, who's one of the most unique individuals you'll ever meet. He's fantastic. He has his own show as well.
Him.
And Tyler White, who is the youngest. We span a few generations, I think, and we have a very fast-moving, quick show, and it's the ADD. Fans love it. The listeners who have ADD, because it's hard to keep up with, but it's fun if you do. And then I also have the Film Vault, which I've been doing forever with Brian, where we do top 5 lists. In fact, we just did our top 5, the Vaulties, the best movies of last year. We do it right after the Oscars.
Okay.
And then I have my newest show is Cinematics, where we talk about 2 movies that are coming out of a theater near you. That Friday, that show gets released on Wednesday. So it's 2 new releases. We see them before the movies come out in the theaters. And then we do a streaming pick as well. Where I let you know about a movie that you can watch on Netflix for free or Amazon Prime, if you're a member, that's streaming that you can watch in your home.
What should I watch on Amazon Prime right now? Because I have Amazon Prime. Yeah.
For you? You can put me on the spot like that.
Why? Well, it's so funny because I was talking to my friend Anna the other day, and she's like, I told her I saw a movie. She goes, "You saw a movie?"
Yeah.
She like freaked out that I sat through a whole movie.
There's so many good ones, and I'm drawing I'm drawing a blank as far as I mean, Buzzard. I would say Buzzard, but Buzzard's not for you.
Well, how do you know it's for me?
It's not for you. You won't be able to sit through it. But
I can sit still. I'm sitting here still.
Buzzard's not that accessible, but I'm obsessed with Buzzard right now. I love it.
Well, I want to see it.
I love Buzzard.
Okay.
But anyways, Cinematics. I finally am doing a show that doesn't say fuck or cuck or dick.
You won't swear.
Or pussy. Yeah,
Why are you doing it all on my show then? I don't swear on my show.
Yeah, you fucking do.
Sometimes, but I don't.
I'm doing a clean show that parents can listen to with their kids in the car. They can keep up on movies and.
Well, I think that's so smart because a lot of people are overwhelmed by
yeah, it
movies. Yeah. Dude, don't get all your cursing out on my show, your profanity, because don't use me for that.
So thank you, Cinematics, Film Vault, which we cuss up a storm, and the After Disaster, which is if iTunes actually took a listen, they'd probably pull it off. It's filthy. Yeah, and we go down
glad they
roads
don't
that we
listen.
shouldn't
People
probably
love
go
all
down.
your shows,
We
Anderson.
did the Blacker Disaster where we had a bunch of black dudes on because people call us racist, and then we presented them with all the
I
things that
remember
came
when
up.
you did
Oh,
that
so
show.
good. We had
Oh, my
3
God.
black dudes come in and they let us know that man, that might be racist. You shouldn't say that.
Oh my God.
Some good stuff on the After Disaster.
Pushing the envelope.
Sorry, I
love
said
it.
30
Check it out.
seconds. That was 3 minutes. I
Dude,
apologize.
I don't care. I love it. We're on
We talk about sex on there sometimes.
sex
so-
and no,
yeah.
it's fine. People want sex. They want podcast. I think we're talking to podcast listeners, right?
You guys are smart. You're ahead of the curve.
Right.
Podcast
It's true. It's all about
listeners,
podcasts now. It's true. I was ahead of the curve.
You still have that conversation like on a weekly basis. Like people say, yeah, so what are you doing? You have to podcast and they do that dog thing where their head tilts.
Yeah. Oh, every day.
I
And I'm
hate
like,
it.
Sometimes I grab their phone. I'm like, do you know? I'm like, okay, so do you go to iTunes? You know how you download a song real easy? This is like that, but it's free.
It's free.
And it's on your phone.
And it's
what? On my
information.
phone. And then I grab their phone and then I search for like the podcast app, usually if they have an iPhone or if they have an Droid. What do you do on the Droid?
I don't know. I can't
Podcast One or
understand it at all.
So
I know
then,
that rocks, paper, scissors all get together.
I'm just telling you, just search
along there.
podcasts on your phone, and then they're all there. There's like hundreds of thousands of them. And I want to thank you all because out of the hundreds of thousand podcasts, last week mine was number 32 overall.
Oh, look at that.
And that
it was
felt
number
really
1
good.
in health for the longest. It's always towards
Still
the
is
top of health.
number 1 in health, number 1 in sex. Oh, and if you listen to the show, this is just a big commercial. No, but it's cool if you listen that you go to iTunes and where you can rate it.
Yeah.
You rate it.
That helps it get up to 32.
Helps us.
That's one of
Yeah.
the main
Give
things.
us 5 stars.
Or 1.
If you don't like it, don't rate us. Okay. Hey.
You got like a perfect 5-star around there, right?
Well, you know what? I had some dark years. I've been doing this for 10
Did you?
years. We were talking about this earlier that in everything that you do in life, I think we learn from our mistakes. And I started this out as like, I'm just going to do pot. I really want to help people have better sex. I want a better
Innocent,
sex. It was
pure.
very noble,
Yeah.
very pure. But then I realized I loved it so much and it was doing well. And I thought I could make a living out of it. But
Oh,
I didn't
no.
know how to do the numbers. So one time I
made
charged
it.
for it.
Oh, that'll get
5
you 1
years ago.
stars.
And people were like, don't charge for your pot. I didn't know I was trying to make a living. And then people were like, you have too many ads for a while. And so now I'm trying to not have it. I'm sorry, you guys. It's only because I freaking love my show and I
The
had
only way to
zero
continue
money
it
and
is
I
to figure out a model.
freaking did not know how to do it. So people were pissed about the ad. Like sometimes you read the things like too many ads.
Don't read the things.
I don't read them.
Yeah.
I mean, I will read them if you write something really nice. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty, it's like 4.5.
Or you'll read an
I
email
would- yeah.
on air if they send a good email.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You like that
Feedback
segue?
at sexwithelmy.com.
You like that segue?
Yeah, that was good. Feedback, that's where you get these. I read them all. Okay. I've got Stanley.
I know. It's killing me.
Hair on
I
my
feel
nose.
your pain.
I love him. Okay. I'm getting a dog, though.
I heard. You gonna keep his
I'm
name?
getting a dog in 2 days. Pepe.
That's
yeah,
my
I
wife's
like-
dog's name.
I know.
Very weird.
The dog, though, don't be mad because he does look exactly
lot like
Stanley.
Stanley, yeah.
Like identical. And that my friend Charlotte, as you know, is a vet, and she's been at a shelter, and she's been looking for a dog for me. And so, yeah, it looks like Stanley. I'm really sorry. I'm like single white female.
Yeah, you are a single white dog.
Okay. Hey, Emily, I'm a massive fan of your show. I've listened to every podcast. I've been dating a guy for 6 months, and I'm his first for sex. He went down on a few girls, but he's never had sex because he was so self-conscious of his penis. I've had quite a few sexual encounters, and I sometimes show my sexual rough side, which he hates. He says it makes him feel like that's how I would have been with other guys. I get that he's self-conscious, and I try to respect this, but he has brought up a few times, and it makes me look slutty, which makes me feel ashamed. What should I do? Thanks for your help already. Love, Ebony.
Oh, Ebony.
So this is interesting, Anderson. Did you get the scenario here? So she's with a guy, and Ebony's got experience with men.
Right.
He's like, you're like slut, or like, why do you, if you do something that's like a move that I don't know because I'm new at sex, I think of all that. He can't get the image of her having sex with other men out of his head, and he's got a penis issue. So there's a lot
she
going
can
on
come
here.
right back at him with like, I can't get the image of your face buried in a girl's muff out of my head.
That's true. She
Right?
could do that.
While your penis was being laughed at. Right?
No, that's
Because,
not nice.
I mean, he's self-conscious about his wiener.
He is self-conscious. So
He's
this is
being so
manifesting
unfair.
a lot
He's
of
being
ways.
so
Okay, so
unfair.
listen, Ebony. I think you're in the right here because you've nothing to be ashamed of, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This has been a very common trend among younger guys lately. Like, he's ashamed of his lack of experience, and he lashes out at you to make you feel bad, and that's not okay.
Not okay.
And he's got negative feelings about his own experience, his own penis, whatever it is, and it's coming to light. And
Coming to
you
light. I got
have the opportunity to schedule what?
You said coming to light.
Coming to light.
Sorry.
Coming to light.
Stop it, Emily. Don't make that sound effect with your mouth.
You have that sound effect, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to
Okay,
play.
fine. You have an opportunity to, listen, you got to educate this guy. I mean, I can't guarantee you that he's going to listen, but you could try.
But she's if she tries to, he's going to be like, how do you know, slut? You know what I mean?
Well, let's hope he can break the slut shaming. But if you really like him, it is worth a try. Tell him how it makes you feel when he says these things. You don't want to attack him. Be like, when you say those things, it's judgmental and it makes me feel like you're not being open and sexually, like you're not being open sexually. You're not accepting me for my past. And you understand that maybe he hasn't had the same experiences as you, but that's a normal part of sex, that you learn what you like. And that's how you understand your body and you grow as a lover. And that's all part of sex. So most importantly, you take what you learn from sexual experience in the past and you bring it into the future. And that's what's going to happen to him. But since you're his first partner, he has nothing to compare it to.
Right. Plus, we don't know. Ebony might be going just hog wild and insane. You know what I mean? Like riding him and flipping over and like going, yeah, do me like this, daddy. I mean, she might be going insane in the bedroom. We don't
Well, you know what? Then she's not with the right partner.
That's true.
What are you going to say? She says she wants it rough sometimes. She wants to be spanked, let's say.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you do have all the other guys. That's his own head. That's his mind F, if you will. Yeah. And, if you want to be more aggressive in bed, that's what you like. Don't apologize for it. You just might not be with the right lover if you try to break this down for him. He has to understand that sex, I mean, it is interesting. It's about both parties being fulfilled. It's not about his own, psychoanalysis of what she's done in the
And
past.
this is ego and jealousy.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what it is at its core. And
And he's not respecting her either.
I wonder if maybe just if she gave him a weekend at Hoff's Bunny Ranch or something, he'd maybe kind of catch up.
No.
Come back after doing a couple hookers,
Doing some herbal Viagra, like
some
Lamar
random
Odom.
hookers, and maybe come back and all right, I'm caught up to you experience wise now. Let's do this. No, good.
No. I mean, I think here's how some guys would say, like, wow, cool, you've got experience. Like, let me try to learn from you. Like, that's one way he could take this scenario.
Yeah, that's a very mature
Or he
way.
could find a partner who's less experienced and learn with them. But no matter what, slut shaming, never acceptable for a boyfriend to do.
Absolutely not.
He has to work on his own insecurities, and he cannot attack you for knowing what you know and knowing what you want.
Oh, what a turn off!
If he can't, I know. I'm so turned off too, because it's like, how is she going to grow as a sexual young woman if he's repressing her and compressing her?
I do. The callback. I do kind of understand.
I don't call back enough.
I have no callback is cheap and it's low hanging fruit, and you should not do it too much. I'm sorry to be so judgmental with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got off track here.
I get it, but yeah.
I've kind of been in his situation because I've been the jealous guy, and I have a lot of shame about that, and I look back on it with horror, and I cringe in a few relationships where I have been the jealous guy. But I think she needs to make him understand that every sexual relationship between two people is different.
Right.
And it's just because I like this with you, it doesn't mean that I liked it with, because it's going to be hard for the guy if he's jealous and he's got his ego wrapped up.
Right.
When she says pull my hair, especially if he knows.
How'd you learn that? Who did that?
There's a good chance that this guy has seen who banged her before too, right? Walking the streets, maybe in the same class, same, so it's hard. It's hard to get the guy to your head.
It is really hard. I mean, that's the thing. So if you don't see any movement on this, and this guy is not letting you be the sexual being that you are, then it's not going to be the right relationship
Come
for
up
you.
with something that you've never done with anyone else and be true about it and say, hey, look, I've never done this with anyone.
Or what's
Bang
your
me in the
fantasy?
ass.
What do you want to try? You seem like pretty open, Ebony. Maybe he wants to try something too. Maybe he wants his ass slapped.
Maybe he wants pegged. Maybe he wants to get pegged.
He can get the Vibratex Pearl. Peg his ass.
Peg his ass.
Yep. Okay.
Ebony Pegasus.
Peg it. Okay, Ebony. Good luck with that. Keep me posted. People should keep me posted. I want to know what happens.
Keep me posted, says Em. That'd be a lot of work.
I know.
All your questions.
Don't
all
email
your
me.
all
Just
your
kidding.
emails.
Okay. So This one's about a backdoor obsession, but don't worry, we're not going to get into ass eating again.
All right, well,
Dear
you just
Emily,
said that.
I'm 21 years old, and there's a lot of pressure from guys these days to do anal. I'm not into it. I've never tried it, but I feel like if I don't do it with my generation and Tinder and everything, that I will miss out on dating. Any advice? Morgan from Twitter.
Is that how
Yeah, because, Tinder is just like pressuring people to have anal all over the place.
I can date successfully unless I give up the ass? Is that really where we're at?
Yeah.
Is that where it's gotten
Oh, dude.
to?
Well, I had a long talk with in the office because everyone's, in their like 20s, mid 20s, and they were just, that they were saying that a lot of women do feel bad about things they don't want to do in bed. And it just feels like anal's acceptable. And I'm telling you, when I went to school, like when I was in high school, anal sex wasn't even on the menu. It wasn't even on the radar. Like I would have been shocked if someone was like, let's have anal. And about 10 years ago, when I started a podcast, is when it really started to become the hot thing that everyone wanted to try. And now it's like squirting and pegging. Like everyone's like, of course you do anal. But here's the thing, Morgan. A big reason for the spike in the popularity is porn, of course. And I also think it's seen as taboo, which is like thrilling and sexually exciting for men and women. And a lot of guys see it as like a gift, like you're going to give me your butt. It's a new hole to conquer.
I can tell you this, though. It's way less taboo now than it was like 20
this is
years
the thing.
ago.
Right.
It's
But this is
becoming
still,
vanilla.
Right. What's becoming vanilla. But what I'm saying is it's very confusing because she feels like, what if I don't want to do it yet? These guys aren't going to like me, these Tinder guys.
Fuck the
Tinder
Tinder
guys. Exactly.
Look at that.
Yep. Are they asking you before? Are they like, hey, you up
I
for
think they
anal?
are. I think
You
they are.
up for a, is there some
Yeah.
kind of like
I'm sure there
emoji?
is.
I didn't realize this was a prerequisite for Tinder at all, a prerequisite for dating. But listen, you stick to your guns and you stick to your butt doing whatever you want.
Hold
in and out
yourself
of
to
it.
a higher standard.
Exactly. So I feel for you. And there is a lot of pressure now. It is true that everyone assumes it. You even hear about girls having anal, so it's like they're still virgins. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a whole
been going
other
on for
story.
like the Catholics kind of invented
I know.
that.
And it's unfair that you feel like you should have to do things in the bedroom in order to be considered like a sex partner. So don't do anything you don't want to do. And it doesn't mean that you're closed off to it, but maybe you're just not ready right now. So it's still not an everyday sexual thing, despite what most men think. It's risky. Can lead to diseases, anal tearing, serious injury when it's done incorrectly or with an inexperienced partner. So you want to be with someone that you care about, that you love, or that you really like and that you trust. So don't give in to the hype and the pressure because, you just want to make sure that you're doing it with someone who makes you feel safe. And I'm not saying anal sex, a lot of people love it. It can be safe. And if you're doing it right and it's pleasurable and some women really enjoy it, but it's okay to say no. And I just want you to feel like men. And also, here's the other thing: not every guy wants anal sex. They don't.
Evidently, a lot do. But for the most part, if you're good enough and you have enough self-esteem in yourself, what's her name?
Her name is Morgan.
Morgan.
From Twitter.
Hot name for a girl.
Yeah.
You're gonna be. It's not gonna be a deal killer
Right.
if you have something to offer. And you know what? A lot of the time, it's a deal killer the other way. Like a guy, once he gets you in the ass, he's like, all right, she's not marriage material.
Exactly.
She's not like a
It's
woman.
so
Not that
true.
you're looking for a husband, but they'll look at you a little bit differently. Like, oh yeah, she's the type that'll take it in the ass.
Right.
So hold yourself up to a higher.
Wait
esteem.
till you're with someone that you really that you feel comfortable with, that you feel like you can trust, and that you really like, and that you've been with for a while. And you know what? Maybe you'll want to, but you know what? You might not want to. You might want to for 10 years. You might not want to for a year. You might meet someone next week, but just be open to it. But don't ever do it unless you're ready. I mean, be open to it like that one day it could happen, but right now it's okay that you don't.
I wonder how many girls are crying and getting pegged right now just because they feel like they have to. God.
So many women do things. That's why they give out the freaking. My friend called Tinder a blowjob dispenser. He's like, every girl gives me a blowjob.
But then you got the friend that you go to like the Jewish deli with who has like the full rainbow of dicks on her phone. And she's
I
like, look,
know,
I'm
the
blowing
dick
this guy.
pic.
So, I mean, it can work both ways. But
Totally. It can work both ways, but I just don't like that these girls and guys, I guess, are being pressured into all this. And
it hurts me.
I just
And
think of my nieces.
Maybe I'm getting old and I got sisters and a mom too. Actually, you know what? It probably would have pissed me off even more when I was younger. But there's the girls, and Morgan's a perfect example. They feel like they have to be porn stars just to be in the game, and that should not be the case. I mean, I feel like last year's movies were more feminine dominant than ever before.
Right.
Yet we got Morgans thinking that they have to give up the ass to date on Tinder.
Right. Morgan, I want you to spend more time masturbating and figuring out what makes you feel good And then you'll know your own body, and then you'll start to enjoy sex more.
What happened? You guys were burning bras 50 years ago. Now look at you.
I know. This upsets
Giving your
me.
ass away on Tinder.
I don't give your ass away. You're totally fine. I think more women need to hear this message. They should never, ever do anything they don't want to do. So that's what we got time for.
Nice.
I know. This is fun, Anderson. And everyone, I'll see you on March 10th at the Hollywood Improv Thursday. And I got some other events coming up too, but I can't think of what they are at this moment. But just check out my website. And find me. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It's all at Sex with Emily, and on Snapchat. Facebook.com/Sex with Emily. And Anderson, you can find you at Anderson Cowan, all your stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? In the interim, when you put me on the spot and asked me for a movie off Amazon Prime, if you're a member.
I am a member.
There's some really good ones. Wolf of Wall Street from last year with Leo.
I saw that.
That's on there. A great movie called While We're Young with Adam Driver is on there.
I heard about that.
Stiller.
I love him. I want to see it too.
Movie.
Okay, I'm going to
While
watch
We're
it
Young.
tonight.
And Ex Machina is also awesome.
Or tomorrow. Okay,
Ex
thank you.
Machina.
Appreciate it. Okay, thanks everyone for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, by now you've probably bailed on your New Year's resolution. That's okay. Maybe you wanted to work out more. I mean, did you make a resolution to work out more? That's okay. I know. It feels great to be in shape. It boosts your confidence and your libido. But are you ignoring the one muscle group that can have the biggest impact on your sexual performance? Don't worry, because now there's a product that will do the work for you. The Intensity is a unique insertable device that strengthens your pelvic floor with gentle electrostimulation, delivering an extremely effective and automatic Kegel exercise. This is what I use, Anderson, when I lie back and I read. I do my Kegels. For 10 minutes a day, the shaft inflates. It perfectly fits you, so you know that you're working your muscles and you feel them contracting, but you don't even have to do the Kegel because it does it for you. Do you understand? It's like someone doing sit-ups for you. That doesn't exist.
That's how Bruce Lee used to work out that way.
Really?
Yeah, he had like the electro low things, and they would make his muscles twitch. Yeah.
I
So he
want
didn't
that.
actually have to
Can we do
it.
that? I want
So you're
that.
doing
My
it with your
stomach.
vagina,
Well, my
apparently.
vagina, I'm doing it. This muscle group gives you more control over your pleasure during intercourse and also prevents urinary incontinence. You know, when you sneeze, you pee. Has that ever happened to you? The Intensity just happens to have a vibrate option too, because hey, why not have an orgasm while you're working out? I'm telling you, this product has changed my sex life. I've talked about it a lot on the show. I've increased strength control and seriously the best orgasms I ever had, which I didn't think were possible because your G-spot becomes much more heightened when your Kegels are strong. The whole thing. Listen to the past shows. Check it out. If you want your Intensity, do it now. Go to sexwithemily.com. Click on the Intensity banner, and it's Pour Moi at Intensity. It'll say Pour Moi by Intensity. Intensity by Pour Moi. Check it out. Sexwithemily.com. Also, guys, one more thing. Are you looking to mix up your masturbation routine? Well, the number one sex toy for men wants to help you. It wants to give you a hand, the Fleshlight. It's a masturbation sleeve. Use it solo or with a partner. It simulates the sensations of having sex. You actually feel like you're having sex with a person, with a woman, with a butt, whatever, a vagina. It feels that way. This unique patented material, they made it like a vagina. I don't know how they did it, but it's amazing. There's a Fleshlight stamina training unit. It helps you last longer during sex. There's the discreet flight. The Go, it's compact. You can take it wherever you go. And now there's the Quick Shot. It's the open-ended male masturbator. Looks like a camera lens. And yeah, it's great for hand jobs. Your partner can use it on you. You'll love it. You'll love all the things they have there. Go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Fleshlight banner, use code Emily, and you get a free bottle of their award-winning Flesh Lube. Thanks for listening.